Hello, and welcome back to Pokémon Y, where before we do anything else, we're going to go clothes shopping, and ultimately be disappointed when we can't afford anything.
So I just want to mention that you were in the Pokémon Centre a long time, clearly, because...
Yeah, this is kind of how my recording sessions end up working.
Yeah.
Like, we jump down there. I think in the anime, like the Pokemon centers and shit have beds and stuff,
Yeah.
places for you to stay. That's not quite so much the case here.
Free healthcare for all of your Pokemon, and you get to sleep there and get food. And I don't think they ever spend any money.
Yeah, how do they fund this? But yes, I believe this is entirely new to this game. There's like a system where you can like pick out different clothes for your player character. It's actually kind of a cool idea. It lets you customise things. If you're playing as the male character, you get barely any choice.
Yeah, which is very sad.
Well, to be fair, there's not really as much you can do with him, but hey, it is what it is, really. I'm just sort of showing off some of the different clothes you can get. I'm not actually going to buy this because, like I say, I can't afford shit right now. But, like, yeah, that kind of makes my character look pretty cool, pretty modern, and then going to go back into the usual outfit.
You look great, now pay us.
Yeah, I can't do that. I did buy a hat just when I was checking it out, but I didn't think to put that on. So we're going to be wearing the default clothes for a little while, yeah. I will change later on in the game, just to kind of show some things off. But yeah, I just wanted to show off how the system works right now. Please come again. You do realise that I didn't buy anything then, and like maybe if you price yourself out, and we get to sit on benches.
I know, it's... mesmerising.
Can you do that in Gen 7?
I don't know, probably. But then again, they do change the sort of the appearance of all the models and that.
They do, like, it goes for more, I guess, realistically proportioned characters in Gen 7.
Yeah, they go for the in-battle designs rather than the chibi aesthetic.
Yeah, which, like, if you're comparing the two games side by side, then I can see why you might prefer the, like, Gen 7 look.
Yeah.
But I think this looks perfectly fine. Like, you know, I quite like the look of X and Y. Like, particularly when you're out in, like, the wilderness and that, and you see, like, all the grasslands and shit, and everything here looks really pretty for a 3DS game, you know. So, like, naturally, this looks a bit pixely, but for the sake of capturing it, I've sort of had to blow it up a little bit, just so we're not, like, looking at fucking 240p footage, but hey.
Also, this is the last Pokemon game that works on a grid.
Yes, it is. Which, this does bend the rules of the grid a little bit, in that you can walk diagonally as well. But after this, it goes on to, like, just free movement, which, you know, it's like the natural evolution, really, isn't it? Although, saying that, with the grid here, later down the line, you do sort of, like, ignore the grid entirely when you start using your fucking skates and shit, but that'll happen in time. But, yes, I forget what this town is called, but fuck it, it looks nice. Pokemon sure are mysterious, yes, they are.
So you've lived in this world with them for how long? How can they still be mysterious? I can understand the legendaries being mysterious, but at this point, all the natural Pokemon that you find in the wild, you should know everything about.
Yeah, well, I suppose we say that, but then if we think of our animal kingdom, there's a lot of stuff that we don't know, about the way they think, the things that they do. I am trading away this fucking Bunnelby that I have literally no purpose for.
Yeah, we never even acknowledged it, sadly, because in a sense it's kind of the Rattata of this, but then it becomes a ground type, so...
Yeah. But I'm getting a Farfetch'd, which they're rare. They're not particularly useful, but they're rare.
Yeah, why did this idiot want a Bunnelby? You could have pointed them to a flipping forest that is just down the road. That's full of them.
He literally could have just gone for a short walk and got his own one.
It's like, just grab a Pokeball. You're a hiker, for goodness sake. You've probably been at this longer than I have.
No, he's a hiker for show. He just dresses up like that to walk around his house. Who does that though? Like, he hasn't even got to hike up the stairs because there aren't any.
So then again, this game does make a couple of little in-jokes about the games here and there.
What kind of things you thinking?
There is a hiker later on in the game who is standing on a bridge, I think, and he makes a comment about a hiker that is beneath him.
Oh.
Under the bridge, and he's like, that guy's been standing there for the past couple of weeks, what is he doing?
Amazing. Just like you're doing, mate.
Pretty much.
I'm showing off like a lot of what the people have to say. A lot of the time it's mundane bullshit, but sometimes, as nature of the base of Pokemon games, sometimes they give you shit for free, and I'm not going to turn down free shit. Even if it's something that Shauna found on the floor.
And of course the obligatory trainer school.
But hey, free shit.
X attacks. I have never once in all of the games ever used an X item.
Honestly, probably the same. Like, maybe once or twice out of curiosity, but like, I don't have like a practical purpose for it, you know?
Yes, I've got an X attack, but my Pokemon knows Sword Dance, which is basically double that.
Yeah, plus it's like, you know, it's not single use.
Yeah. Yeah, and the whiteboard has all of the information about burn, poison, paralysis and sleep.
All that useful shit that I totally pay attention to.
And now in Gen 7, paralysis has been nerfed. In this, it halves your speed. Now it just takes away a quarter of your speed. So it doesn't. So now it doesn't entirely screw over the enemy.
Was it this generation where it became that like electric types can't get paralysed?
Yes, it introduces new features for various types, specifically the ones associated with the status ailments.
Yeah, so like poisons can't get poisoned and shit like that.
And fire types can no longer be burned.
Now you might notice I've done a bit of a switcheroo as to which of the elemental monkeys I'm using, because that water one is not going to be any use to me at all. Whereas a fire type, when we've got a bug gym coming up, that might. Although I can't actually remember if I ended up getting it to a level where it learns a fire attack. I just kind of thought I'd switch it around. You know, I've got a bit of resistance going on.
Yeah, at least you can brag about that.
Yeah. Plus I'll get to show off another elemental monkey, because we're so desperate to see all of them, aren't we? But we've got this roller skater out the front who is just preventing us from getting into the gym at all. Which, that's useful.
So after you mentioned the first gym in black and white, I love the fact that in one of the flashback memories that you get in the game, where it shows those three fighting against Team Plasma, they lose because they're weak, because they're the first gym.
Perfect.
And they don't show up for the final battle, whereas every other gym leader does.
Yeah. Oh, well, good job there, you fucking useless pieces of shit. Now, it says that, but in Pokemon Origins, didn't they establish that the gym leaders have different teams depending on how many badges?
Yes.
So that, I guess that is like a different canon, so like, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, you think they'd have some stronger Pokemon as gym leaders, but this is our new method of transport for the game. We get rollerblades, or skates, or whatever the fuck ever, the ones on wheels.
They're kind of pointless, but I like them.
It's just like a convenient thing, you know, if you just want to go somewhere quickly. I'm mostly trying to be careful. What's the hustle, little crossel? Shut the fuck up.
Hey. Don't be mean to this guy. He calls you the future champ. Also, can you tell what gym this is?
I wonder.
The floor patterns.
Yeah, I wonder. No, I've already spoiled it, but like, you see the picture of fucking Butterfree at the back? Like, take a hint.
The floor is full of Venomoths.
Yeah, so, anyway, first up is a Dragon Gym, which...
the trainer has Rayquaza.
Yeah, that's kind of change of pace in it, really. Well, what the fuck? The first gym leader is like a fucking Salamence. How am I meant to get on here?
Well, you think this game's for children?
Nah, man the fuck up.
And here we have one of the most useless bug types in all of Pokemon, including its evolution.
See, that's the thing that, like, yes, it is fucking useless, but I like Ledian's design.
Yeah.
So, have we got any favourite bug types, Chris?
I'm trying to think. Oh, you're on a spot. What's that moth everyone likes?
You thinking Venomoth or...
The fire one or something.
Oh, Volcarona.
Isn't that quite powerful?
Yep, that is ridiculously strong.
That is a cool design. Yeah, Stephen, you got a favourite?
There's a fair few. I mean, there's the obvious Scizor and Scyther. Volcarona, as he's just mentioned. Trying to think now. I mean, those are the main three. I mean, Fortress is pretty cool, being the steel type as well.
Fortress can be really defensive, can't it?
Yeah,
except to fire types, obviously.
It is a tank.
Yeah. Because for me, I think the obvious one is Scizor. Because, like, Scizor is a fucking bamf. I don't even care. Like, Scizor can wreck your shit. And then I think I've got, like, a really soft spot for Butterfree.
Yeah, Butterfree is actually fairly useful as long as you can set up a quiver dance.
Like, it tends to be useful early game whenever you can get it, doesn't it? Because, like, it'll be the first Pokemon you have that can learn a psychic move. It learns Confusion as soon as it evolves.
Yeah.
And that's useful, especially when you're going through, like, all the forests and shit, and, like, they're all part poison, and you can wipe them down. And the fact that it's got the flying type as well to take out other bugs. You know, so you slap it on with Gust and Confusion, and then it's good for, like, the first couple of gyms worth, like, particularly in Gen 1.
Plus, it can learn status moves. So it has Sleep Powder and Stun Sport.
Yeah, so it can kind of, like, you know, just help set you up, and especially when you're trying to capture stuff early game, that's useful.
And I think its ability, or its hidden ability, is Tinted Lens, which increases the accuracy of its moves. And because the powder moves have sometimes low accuracy on them, it's really useful in those situations.
I thought Tinted Lens made you like old shit that you played as a kid. But yeah, we've only got a couple of trainers left. I think I did just skip one who was just sort of loitering up the top bit, but fuck it, it lets me, so I will.
Overall, it's a decent design for the first gym. Definitely shows off the 3D aesthetic.
Yeah, it does. I think you can still enable 3D in the overworld in this game. I think it was like Sun and Moon, the first ones where it's like, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, they completely remove it in Sun and Moon. You can use it here in the overworld sometimes. It mainly pops up in the battles.
Yeah.
It causes the frame rate to chug like hell.
Yeah, see, this is the biggest issue with Gen 6 and the 3DS games in general, in that the performance is... what's a nice way of putting fucking god awful?
I think you put it quite well, honestly.
Right, X and Y, they like it runs at 30 FPS sometimes, and then it drops whenever there's something a bit more intense. And a similar kind of deal for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Sun and Moon, you might get 25 out of it sometimes. I think one of the most painful experiences with frame rates I've had in a game is in Sun and Moon. Like, back when I first played it on my original 3DS model, and you go into that, like, 4-way battle with, like, Gladian, Hao, and, like, totally not Professor. That just, like, I thought that was gonna cook my 3DS. Like, it's chugging. And the fact is that it's not just the visual side of things chugging either, is it? It's like you push a button on the menu and it takes a few seconds for it to react to that, just because it's putting so much intensity on it.
Well, you're lucky that triple battles aren't really a thing in Sun and Moon, considering they're a thing in this. And have you seen a three-way battle between 6 Warlords?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not a pretty sight. I mean, it's actually kind of fantastic to see, but good god, the person's 3DS must have exploded.
Yeah, see, the thing is, the way this game handles the models is, although this is like a 3DS game, they are incredibly high detail models. Like, they could I know they've mentioned they're working on a Switch game. I wouldn't be surprised if they are, like, just upscaling the models they have, because they're so high res that they've just sort of been compressed down for the 3DS. But that's why it's so intense, because, like, it's trying to render these models on the fly. And particularly in Sun and Moon, where they show the trainer characters on the screen as well. And that's the thing, like, Sun and Moon technically are built on top of the Gen 6 games. The games that were unoptimised as it was, and they decide, you know what we can do? We can cram more in.
I mean, I admire them for trying it, but...
Yeah, but it's the kind of thing of, like, I want you to do cool shit, but not if it makes the game chug to a point where it's, like, really slow.
Well, yes, frame rate is terrible in these games. I can't say it ruins the games in any way. It doesn't really hinder my enjoyment of them. It's like, it would only really affect me if it was like a fighting game or something where it's like, you really don't want there to be lag. This is just a turn-based game.
See, I can accept this, like, running at 30 FPS because, like, it's, you tap in the menus. It's when you get to the extreme situations and you push a button on the menu and then a few seconds later the next menu will pop up. That's when I have a major problem.
And here we have the Pokémon that has taken the place of number 666, Yveltal.
Why is it taking the place of that?
Because it just happens to be the Pokemon that...
Oh, right.
Yeah, in the Pokédex.
It happens to be number 666 in the Pokédex, which is kind of saddening but also amusing.
Well, you think, like, if they were going to intentionally put something there, it would be really on the nose, wouldn't it?
And it would probably cause some sort of uproar, so...
Well, like, Pokemon's already created all the uproar it's going to cause, like, it's satanic, it promotes the evil of evolution. How do you move beyond that? Oh, I don't know, let's find a way to call it sexist as well. Like, fuck it. Like, make it every kind of bad, but nah. It's just, like, amusing. Like, whatever it was gonna be that landed on 666, it was gonna be kind of amusing in its own right, isn't it? So the fact that it's a harmless looking, like, fucking butterfly thing.
It's like Houndoom and Giratina are just giving it the evil stare, just like, that's our spot.
Yeah, fuck you.
You stole that. You never earned it.
Yeah. I like the originality of this name for the badge, by the way. The Bug Badge.
What more do you want?
Well, I think in this game the Psychic Badge is called the Psychic Badge.
Yes.
They really stopped giving a shit, didn't they?
Pretty much.
But yes, as per the norm with gym leaders, we do get a TM, and I think it was again black and white where TMs became multiple use on it.
Yes, it was, thank God.
Yeah, so now it's less of a chore if you want to build up a certain moveset and that, because TMs, now you can use them as many times as you like. They can be overwritten, unlike HMs though, so, you know.
Yeah, but, I mean, granted, the move deleter is fortunately a thing that exists, but...
Yeah.
It really shouldn't be necessary.
Well, I know why they've done that. It's so that you don't lock yourself out of a area. Like, you get yourself trapped in a cave somewhere because you can't strength your way back out. But yeah, I'm just showing off like how the trainer ID thing works in this game. Like, this is the only time I'm gonna see it. I don't know why I hover awkwardly in front of my own ID badge, but we'll think about that in its own time, I guess.
So it bothers me a little bit that when you look at the badges, when you earn the badges, it shows them in 3D. But you can never see them like that again. It's like,
yeah, that would have been cool.
Tiano's still there. He's done nothing.
No, he's just occasionally, whenever someone's come in, he's showing them a little dance and they've sort of turned around. You know that one gif like of Abe Simpson? He just walks into the burlesque club and then he just puts his hat back on and he walks back out.
That's one of my favourite things.
Yeah, that episode as a whole is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, join us next time for part 4 of Pokemon Y.